Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pink Print Podcast. This is going to be a fun one. It's not a solo, it's a duo. It's just me and Kat today, no guest. We were just in Austin, Texas, and we went to a Dear Media event, Dear Media in real life, where we saw all of the podcasters, influencers, many that we know and love, including Claudia and Jackie Oshry from The Toast, Lauren and Michael Bostic, Pia Baroncini, Sammy Clark, Sammy Spalter, Ariel Laurie, like so many people. So we're just sort of going to do a takeaway, a recap of our trip and like what we thought of like as now podcasters going to Austin and meeting these people and like what we learned and what we can give you guys, practical tips and stuff that we learned, like just for a business, if you want to start your own podcast, your own business, etc. So those are the vibes for this episode.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about Austin first, right?
Yeah.
Let's just get into the nitty gritty of little ATX town.
ATX.
I've been to Austin twice now. So have you.
Yes, I've been to Austin twice. Yes, now twice.
To be honest,
lots of fucking Mexican food, but I'm here for it.
It was good. I mean, the majority of it was good. I think that would I leave Miami for Austin?
No.
Literally never.
Some people would. Like, I have friends who love it and live there, but as a town, as a city, I don't know.
I don't know if like you need a car there. I don't know if we're in the wrong places.
Like you do need a car, but at the same time, it takes 5 minutes to get everywhere. So why do you need a car?
Like it's just not walkable though.
Right, but then you need a car, but everything's like still so small.
Yeah. So I don't know, guys. I will say I loved our hotel.
We stayed at the Proper and it's really nice. It's in the middle of downtown. There's so many restaurants around, so highly recommend staying there, even if you want like go for a drink. And if you go, definitely go to La Piscina on the 5th floor, Mexican restaurant, really good. So even if you're in town and you don't want to stay there, just like pass by, go get a drink or food.
Yeah. So the stay was nice. They have a nice gym. We worked out, whatever. I guess we can walk them exactly through the trip now.
So we got there Friday. We were just there Friday to Sunday. We are efficient, fast women. And the panel was the whole Saturday. So we got there. Honestly, I felt like we were fucking eating all day long.
Yeah, every single day.
Because we landed, we went to the hotel, we dropped our bags off and we were starving. So we needed to eat lunch. So we went to La Piscina. Then from there, we didn't really know what to do. So we went on a walk and we were going towards South Congress, which is like the street where there's like all these like restaurants and stores and stuff. It was so foggy and humid, which I was surprised like at this time of year that it was like that.
It was also like misting and then we're walking and we're like, is this like a safe place to walk?
I don't know. It's so confusing because I feel like when I'm in a new city and I'm walking, if there's like not people walking on the street, I'm like, is this wrong?
Yeah.
It's like if you're walking in LA, you're like, am I supposed to be walking? I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah. So we were like walking towards South Congress and then it started like pouring rain and we were like, okay, let's like get into a car. So our wholesome walk turned into a car ride, a 3-minute car ride. So we arrive and we go to Soho House.
Yeah, we sat there, we ate cookies and I had a latte.
Yeah. So we were sitting there chilling, but again, like there was really nothing else to do.
Right. So this is where we're like, Austin, you know, like what do you do besides like go for your bachelorette and party and drink all weekend? Like, I don't know.
People say it's like a very outdoorsy place. We didn't get the luxury of having good weather, so maybe that's what we missed out on.
Maybe also it's a very wellness place. Maybe if it's your base and you live there, it's different.
I think so.
I think we're just honestly so fortunate to live in Miami, which is an insane city. You have the water, the ocean. Not that I go to the beach all the time, but just like scenery vibes. Like it's so nice.
I know. But like
millions of restaurants, millions of studios to work out at, many different shopping malls, like so many just different aesthetics. If you want to be in Bal Harbor or you want to be walking in Sunset Harbor, you want to go to Design District, you want to go to Merrick, you want to go to like, I don't know. I think we have so much here that then I go to other cities and I don't know. I'm just like, I'm really happy to come back home.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so we go to Soho House. We chill there. We have cookies. And then we go back and we worked out, which was nice. The gym was really pretty there. And then we started to get ready for the Dear Media welcome party for Friday.
Welcome party, you guys. So fucking pumped and excited.
Like we paid for this welcome party. We paid like $85 for it. So like part of our package, but just so you get the idea of like, I'm not sure why it was $85.
Like this is like a 3-day event, welcome party, panels all day Saturday and Sunday brunch. It's a whole thing. we're thinking like, fuck yeah, we're gonna go network. Like it's a whole experience.
So we're getting ready for the welcome party. We get there. We're walking. We couldn't find it, first of all.
Yeah, can I just like make a comment? Like, not that I come from a background, but like I've been to many like real estate events. So I'm thinking there's just very different. So we arrive.
The second we get out of the car, people are like harassing us, like, you want a free drink, 3 free drinks here, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, like where the hell are we?
Dirty Six.
Dirty Six, if you're familiar.
Apparently like no one goes out to Dirty Six anymore, like, for bars.
Got to the hotel and they were like, don't go to Dirty Six. So we're walking around. We're like, where the fuck is this place? We also don't want to look like we don't know where we're walking, because then, you know, that's when the trouble ensues. So we find it, whatever.
Not that we felt unsafe, but just like we didn't want to look fucking retarded.
I didn't feel like safe, but yeah. So then we arrive at this bar. I'm pausing for dramatic effect. If you could see my face right now. The bar was literally equivalent to like Chuck E. Cheese for adults, but not even as fun as Chuck E. Cheese, okay?
I think like the bar, like it was just very casual.
No, it was a dive bar. It is a place where you get like dollar beers, which is great and fine, but why am I paying $85 fucking dollars to go here?
Right. I think that, yeah, the thing is like, I don't care if you like to go out to those places. Maybe it's very Austin. Maybe it's like such a vibe, like for like if you want to, but as a welcome party to the beginning of the weekend of your in real life event, I don't think it should have been there.
Like, let's go back to brand messaging. We're here for a business trip to network with business professionals in their industry, and you're sending me to like a little trap bar.
I mean, that's why we went for the business aspect. Maybe people went just to connect with the podcasters and the influencers they like and the message that they have.
Okay, none of which
has nothing to do with this bar in Dirty Six.
Yeah, and also like all of the people employed by Dear Media are pretty much into the wellness space.
I feel like a lot of the podcasters, like unless they're like comedians like The Toast, you're like, I don't know, they have, fitness, wellness, personal growth. That's the vibe.
So the brand messaging just doesn't align. And that's like where it all started to just like not go.
And like, not that like you can't be personal growth and whatever the fuck and like go to a dive bar. Mm-hmm. It's just like, again, this is a company event. Like this is like corporate, like Dear Media. Do you know what I mean?
That you do once a fucking year.
Yeah. Apparently now they're doing another event in another city. Whatever. And it's like
they did it once last year, to our knowledge, until last week. They were doing it once this year.
Right.
And then they say that there's going to be food at this event.
No.
Appetizers. Oh, and obviously liquor was included, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm paying $85. Like, what's going to be there?
Open bar, baby.
The open bar was like, they literally said to my face, like, oh yeah, like this is all just like house wine and house tequila. If you want something else, you have to pay. So basically they're giving you the cheapest shit they have, because once again, this is a dive bar. So even their house things are obviously going to be like disgusting fucking liquor. So I was like, cool, I'm not going to drink. Thank you. And then the food.
You guys think of, first of all, I didn't even notice there was food. I didn't know there was supposed to be light bites. Think of your school cafeteria and the little tin foil things that have been sitting there for a month.
Yeah. Okay. Like 35 years.
For a month. It was just like so off-putting. I was like, is this like supposed to be for us? Like, I don't even think people wanted to approach it because it looked so wackadoodle.
It was in a corner next to the bathroom. There like was, I don't even know what was inside.
There was like no one, I didn't even know like what it was. I was just like, why is this here?
By the way, there were like 2 trays. Like, do you think that's going to fucking feed everyone? Number 1. Not that anyone was eating it, so it doesn't matter. But number 2, like, once again, where was my money going?
I just like think it's so off-brand.
So it's okay. We met some cool girls at the event. They were really nice, but also like nobody that worked for or at Dear Media was at the event, which makes no sense. Like, how do you know how the event went? How do you know that like quality control is in place? You don't, which is very concerning for you as a business owner to not know what's going on at an event that you are hosting and your name is written on.
That's my thing. It's like, well, then don't host something for 3 days. Then just say the one thing. And people are flying in like us to go. So then I think it is right, not right, but I think it's valid to have like something on Friday to welcome people and Sunday, but make it like a little more, I don't know, just like on brand. Make it a little bit, like just try a little harder. It looks like you just sort of like put together and you're like, yeah, like let's just tell everyone to go to this bar and like that's it.
Yeah. And like you're saving a couple bucks to dilute your brand.
Then I just honestly wouldn't have had the event.
Yeah.
Like for that, then I would have just been like, this is a 1 day thing. It's on Saturday. Like maybe that wouldn't have made people want to go travel there, but like I still would have. Like I don't know, people still. If they want to see,
gone just for Saturday.
Right, and then just make it and put all your money and time and effort into making Saturday fucking phenomenal, because that's like your 1 day that you're doing it.
Yeah. So then whatever, we leave the event and we meet one of Gio's friends who lives in Austin for dinner at this place, Comedor. Don't go there. That's my final note for Friday. Good night. No,
that's literally your final note. That's
like,
it.
Yeah, we went to dinner. We went to bed actually like starving Marvin because like the food was not good, and also like this big the plates were.
Yeah,
so,
they're like, everything is for sharing.
Yeah.
Nothing was cut. It was like one fucking big chip with guac. I'm like, this is meant for sharing?
Yeah, it was like an avocado tostada, and they're like, for sharing. It was actually one chip, and they're like, chef recommends that you break the chip. I'm like, thanks, bitch. No, we're all gonna pass it around and take a bite out of it. Like, are you okay? And like, so we break the chip, then the dish is demolished, and nobody's eating anything. Oh, and it had mushrooms on it, and I couldn't even fucking eat at the end of the day, so whatever. So, Comedor.
Anyways.
2 out of
2. Okay.
1 out of 10 because the margarita was okay. So then me and Gio.
The place was cool.
It was like so industrial. I was really scared. It was dark. I felt like I was in jail.
Oh my God, that's the vibe.
The vibe of Guantanamo Bay for dinner.
I thought it was cool. I thought I'll give it a 2.
Okay. Why?
Because the place was cool and the food, like, there was one really good dish, the fish tacos.
It was literally a fried fish taco. How could that be bad? They make that in the Bahamas on the street for 35 cents. And it's way better.
Oh my god. Okay,
we know I'm a tough food critic.
Yeah, okay, fast forward Saturday. We're like, all right, maybe last night was like not off good to a good start. Like, this is the fucking day, panel day. Like, again, so I go to a lot of like, real estate conferences. I've been to Grant Cardone. Like, my mom's been to Tony Robbins, and she's like told me about it, like Inman Connect, like The Real Deal. Like, there's like a lot of events that go on, and
these are people that they interview. So yes, it should be equivalent.
Like Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone was just on the Him and Her show.
They had Josh Flagg.
Right.
Like, they have important business owners.
Like, okay, you go to 10X, Grant Cardone's conference, and Tony Robbins, and literally any other fucking personal growth person, and everyone's like in a big conference room at a hotel or wherever the hell they do it, and fucking Grant Cardone, like, kudos to you, bro. Hats off. It was at the Marlins Stadium. The guy fucking like parachuted down.
Like, insane.
Fucking like skydived. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but the point is music is on. And even like some people, like I've seen like Ryan Serhant, he's a media personality, real estate person from New York, lots of followers. And he gets on stage, and if he feels the crowd like a little low energy, he's like, everyone get up, like, let's take a selfie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you have music on, you're going on, let's take a selfie, like, crack a little joke. Some people go on and they like make people get up and like dance. And I know it sounds really fucking cheesy, but the whole point is that you were there, at least we thought, to learn, because you're looking at these panels of these people, talking about business or their passions or whatever, right? So like, they pump people up. Mm-hmm. You're getting started for the day and you're like, all right, let's fucking go. It's a long day that we're sitting from literally like 11 to 5 on our uncomfortable chairs. Like, you want to motivate people. That is why you are there.
The chairs were tied together. You couldn't even move them. Okay. Anyway, just a little side note.
Okay. So like, they start the event and energy's really low. Like, in my opinion, energy was low.
Let's also just remember that you have, as a podcast, like for this podcast company, you have one chance to impress someone in real life.
Right.
Let's just remember that. Like, this is your in real life experience. This is how you marketed it.
This is people literally flying in. Like maybe if you're in Austin, chill, but like people are flying in.
No one was from Austin.
We met girls from Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Louisiana, California, Jacksonville, which means you have to like connect. Like there's no direct flights to Austin. Like people are literally taking 2 flights to get to this fucking place.
And like saving and budgeting money.
And
like,
already
it wasn't
for
cheap.
like a 1-day event, which is fine because this wasn't a conference. I guess maybe like it wasn't an actual conference. So it's just like a 1-day thing. But people are already going for 1 day.
Yeah.
Because the welcome party and the brunch, ciao bye. So anyways, starts off, you know, the president comes out and starts to talk. And I'm feeling it's very low energy. No. We are receptive on this. And I don't even think you have to be good with energy to feel that. It was so, hi, welcome, no sé qué, like, hey everyone, oh my God, welcome to our, you know, second in real life event. We are so excited. Bro, like, come on. Bring the vibes. Bring a personality. And if you don't have one, then don't fucking be the one to open up.
Correct. And then I was thinking, I'm like, oh, like, I'm obviously trying to be so nice. And I'm like, maybe it was like really early. It was 11 a.m., you guys. Like, you could have had 3 cups of coffee by 11 a.m., okay?
By the way, we're not trying to shit on it. I just think that these are very valid observations as consumers of
a brand
the network, the brands that these podcasters and influencers make, we buy and we consume. And you're going in person and you have a certain expectation, and we're not telling you like not to go, but I think that also these notes can be like, anyone can use these to then like keep this in mind. If you are doing a PR event, if you're doing an event ever, if you're doing something for work, if you're hosting a fucking meeting for your 5-person team, bring the fucking energy to make your fucking team members excited to be there on a Monday morning or on your Zoom call. Like, you can take these into anything, which is our point.
Right. Not to shun the event. It truly is, because it was a note to self. It was like, my God, I'm never doing this.
Eye-opening for us to be like, this is what we loved about it. This is what we didn't. This is what we can do better. It's all about like how we can keep doing better.
Yeah.
Anyways, comes out low energy.
Then we have the first panel. Same thing. Low energy. The moderator sat in the chair like this. Hey guys. Okay, so what are your favorite wellness hacks?
I was like, is this a fucking joke?
Like laying back and then like looking around. Okay, cool. What about you? Like, what? Why are you talking so low energy? Like, just also not really good questions in my opinion. And the people answering, I couldn't hear anything they were saying.
I had a really hard time hearing a lot of the people answering that panel.
Like, if I wanted to like hear about the wellness hacks, I can listen to the podcast. Like, I don't need you to interview somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right. Like, also like maybe that shouldn't have been a panel.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it could have been like more thoughtful and also like, once again, more energetic. And
also like this event gets progressively better.
It does.
We're just going in order. But the moderators, I really like when they engage with the people they're asking the questions to, and actually like, sounds like you're listening to them. Like if I'm asking Kathy and a few people, like, what are your favorite self-care tips? And you're answering me like, oh my God, I actually love that. I implement that. Like, obviously it's not about the moderator. It's about asking these people questions, but like at least pretend or try to listen.
No, because the last moderator was amazing and completely just engaging.
Was so good.
Like, you don't, like, the first moderator had cards. Like, you don't need cards. I'm sorry. Like, it's probably like 4 questions total for the hour because you're waiting for each person to answer. Like, you shouldn't need like a card, even if you do a glance and whatever, but like reading off the card into the microphone.
I agree. Also, like, you know, this event's happening, so like prepare.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yes. Anyways. Okay. So then the next ones were good. They kept going. I think I'm just going to skip to like the ending, the last panel.
I did think the panelists spoke really well.
The panelists spoke very well.
I was also like, something that was really cool for us was we were really surprised by some of the panelists' answers. And if we didn't know them before, it was like, oh my God, like I actually really like this person. And people that we did like before, we were like, oh my God, I really don't like this person now.
Right. Because I think that these people, like, yes, some of them are influencers, business owners, but at the end of the day, you're not like a famous person. So when at the end of their panel, some people would walk around like the place where it was happening and would engage with the community. And I think that was really cool. And I think that's sort of what you should do, because
that's the point of an in real life event.
We are here. We are your community. We listen to you online. We see you online, and now we're seeing you in person, and we want to connect with you. And like, you're not Kim K, you know, so you can walk around and engage. And that's when we really got the opportunity to meet some of these people. And besides their panel that was already like very well spoken, they really surpassed, some people really surpassed my expectations and were such cool people. Others, it was like pulling teeth to get a fucking word out of them. Like you're trying to like connect with them and like, hey, like I really like this and I've listened to this on your podcast and, you know, I think we really relate in this way. Like, I don't know, you're just trying to make conversation. Like, where the fuck else would we go, you know? And some people were just like, oh, yeah.
Like, just not giving us
like, okay.
But...
And other people really surpassed us, and we're going to call her out again. We called her out in another episode, but Sammy Clark was so nice. We like went up to her. She works with her best friend. We're obviously best friends. We work together. We started asking her some questions and she was like so engaged in our conversation. It seemed at least like she really cared to speak to the people she was speaking to. Yeah. And like she was actually asking us questions back. Like, and then she was like, oh, I wish I got these questions on the panel, obviously, because you have to split the time between the other people you're there. Like they can't just ask her questions. So we were asking like really good questions. And then, you know, we were talking about like, how do you build a community? Like we have a podcast too. And then she'd be like, well, do you do that? Like she was like asking us questions back.
Yeah. Just very engaging.
It was a very like nice exchange. And I think that like kudos to her. That's what you should do. That's how you are going to continue building your community because you care about your people.
Well, you care about your audience that literally allows you to have this platform.
Right. Which I think a lot of the other podcasters like forgot.
Yeah. So it was really cool. And again, it was another tip for us to be like, first of all, for the people that already do support us, like to continue to give back to them.
100%.
Because without them, first of all, like then we would have no listeners, obviously.
Exactly.
But second of all, like if you're going to keep showing up for me, like I want to make sure that I keep showing up for you and I don't get sidetracked of being like, okay, I need 100 more followers here, 100 more followers here. Like, no.
Like, or like I'm famous.
Yeah. It's
like you're not.
About investing and who invests in you and like continuing to engage with them. And that's how you build a strong community. And like another theme for us was showing up authentically.
100%. Like, I'm going to say Pia Baroncini did this so well.
She was so good with how
this woman is pregnant, looking amazing, but like she's coming out of her way. She lives in California.
Like she's giving birth in like a month.
Like she looks like, I mean, beautifully pregnant, but like she's out here giving it her all and like happily being herself. And on stage, it's like so funny. You would see her, she was on 2 panels, like the way she would answer questions, the way she would ask questions, like her facial expressions, like she really like didn't care. Like I think what people think about her, like she's just truly showing up as herself. And even like Kat raised her hand and asked her like a question in the Q&A section. And she's like, you know, like, how do you balance your life and personal work and whatever? And she's like, honestly, like what works for me, like might not work for you. Like she's not out here like preaching anything. Like she's just being so real. And you could like really feel that authenticity through her. I would say Sammy Clark was the same. You say, I didn't really consume her content before, but obviously like now that I've met her, I'm like, I actually do want to follow you because I think you're a really cool person.
Exactly. And like but
they were consistent with who they are online.
Yes. So consistent. It's like, I follow the both of them. I consume both of their content and they were aligned with their brand messaging and like messaging as a human and what they put out there. And then there are other people's content that I consume that I follow who we met. And I was like, I'm literally unfollowing you. Like, I don't like you. I don't like how you show up in person. And
I just think like you're just not showing up how you do online. So it's like something is off and it's not truly you.
Yeah.
Even if you're an introvert, like I think then if you're an introvert and you don't want to like to talk to a lot of people, then the first thing is lead with gratitude. Yeah. Like I don't think anyone who's an influencer is like completely shy because you're sharing your life online. But even if you are more in person, like, I don't know, like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like, I don't know. Then you can lead with that if you don't want to have so many conversations. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. So again, these are tips. And something else that we learned when we talked to Sammy Clark, because we were asking her about like, she has a wellness platform. How many wellness platforms are out there? And that's what she said. She's like, do you know how many people told me to not start a wellness platform just because there are so many out there? Doesn't matter, because what makes mine different is that I'm me.
yeah, she really emphasized that you are you and nobody can be you. And like, that's it. Like, she literally was like, your voice sounds different. Like, the way you look sounds different. Your story is different. And honestly, it's so true. Mm-hmm. People ask us all the time, like, what makes your podcast different to any other podcast? Same with the wellness, same with another brand. And the thing is that what's beautiful is that we're all unique. We're all different. And if we just like lean into who we are, which is something that should be so simple, like, that's how you differentiate yourself.
Yeah. She was like, as soon as you like tap into your heart and you're like speaking from your heart and doing things from your heart, like people will see that.
And they will feel it, which is why we feel inauthenticity. I'm like eating the mic.
I know. I'm like, Yeah.
So that was great. Another two people that we didn't speak to, but who exceeded my expectations, Claudia and Jackie Oshry.
So
fucking
good.
hats off to you. And then this is where the event got really fun. They came on stage. They fucking owned the stage.
Yeah.
Claudia's singing to the music. She is dancing along. Like, it is a vibe. And you're like, oh my God. Like, it's not even that it's funny because she's funny. I'm like, she brought it. Like, she brought the energy.
Make me want to be here. If you're
She made me want to sit there and watch her.
Yeah. If you're coming out on stage and you're just like walking, not even making eye contact with the crowd, like, hello, I'm over here. Like, I'm here to see you. Like, make me want to be here. And she comes out and she's like, knew I was a killer.
I know, it's like Taylor Swift, like, you know.
Yeah.
She was great. And then they sat down, and I follow them on Instagram. I don't listen to the toast, but I follow them on Instagram, right? Because I like them and I think they're really funny. The moderator also for this panel was not reading her cards. Again, how we spoke about in the other ones, like what makes a good communicator, what makes a good reporter, presenter, like when you were just like engaged.
Yep.
And you care. So she was like not even really reading her questions. And the back and forth between them was like so seamless. And like it flowed so well. And I was surprised because I didn't know exactly like what their panel was going to be about. If Jackie and Claudia were just going to talk about like pop culture, like how they do on the toast, but they actually answered questions about, you know, how to deal with criticism and how do you build your audience and many things about their podcast and how they do it. So I was like blown away by just like, I don't know. I'm like, you guys are actually smart people. Not that that's not how you come off online, but like you brought it. Like you really showed up. Mm-hmm. You brought the energy. You brought the advice. You guys are fucking funny. You guys were my favorite panel.
Yeah. And like not to...
No, there was other good panels too, but I think they just stood out to me the most.
Yeah, no, they were amazing. And I think like what we were talking about compared to this event is like you see Alex Cooper's Unwell events. And Alex Cooper and Alex Earl, like they're in the crowd with their audience. Like they're truly there for their audience. They're not there to
like put themselves on a pedestal.
Yeah, like to publicize themselves and give themselves clout. It's literally like, what's up, you guys? Like, let's go out. And then the event's over. And then they're like, okay, we're going to this bar now. Everyone come meet us there. Like they genuinely want to be there and they're giving it the crowd and the people that give them the platform once again to like do what they love. They're giving them all the gratitude. And it's like, they don't show up inauthentic and they don't show up like they don't want to be there or dismissive. And I think it just like says a lot about them and their brand. And that's why their community is so strong.
I just think that this kind of job, this industry, podcasting, influencing, you're a business owner and you're in this space, like it is all about your community. It is all about your audience. And you're basically like, who are we talking to? Like, we're talking to you guys, to our community. You know what I mean? And like, just don't lose sight of that. That's why we're here. And like, just really stay humble, stay grounded, feet on the ground, and like be one with your people. I think that people lost sight of that. And some people thought that they were not above, but just sort of like, it just felt like you didn't care to be here. And if you don't care to be here, why am I showing up for you?
Yeah. And just like, again, from like operations and logistics perspective, some of the brands they had there, again, didn't match with their brand as a whole. And to
like
me...
the sponsors, like, I don't know if you had to like, did you need to put this together last minute?
I just don't know if like they wanted to just like save money and to them it's worth like diluting their brand. To me, like never would that ever be the case. But you're like having Lipton tea as a sponsor. Like why? What is the reason behind that? I haven't thought of Lipton
in so long.
That's like what they serve you on an airplane. Like why would you do that? You know? And like CoverGirl. Who the fuck has used CoverGirl? Like not since actually 2007.
Yeah, since Tyra Banks made them like famous in America's Next Top Model. Like that's literally when I remember CoverGirl.
So I don't know. To us, it didn't really.
I just think
align
like,
with the brand's like mission and values in a way.
I don't know. Maybe we got it wrong. It just felt off based on our perception on the brand. And I think again, we consume a lot of their content, their products and stuff. So I think we did have a pretty sort of clear message on what you stand for. So it was a little confusing. I just think that Jesse Itzler has said this before, Sarah Blakely's husband. And he said, how you do anything is how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. And that is do everything you fucking do 100%. You're gonna fucking do the dishes. You better fucking wash that dish and make sure all the grease is off. Don't do a half-assed job. You're gonna host an event. Make it the best fucking event possible. Bring the energy. Bring the vibes. You're gonna be a moderator. Be the best fucking moderator there's ever fucking been. Like, just do everything with intention, with love, with energy. Because if not, like, why are we fucking half-assing it?
Yeah. No,
like
100%. And like,
no one wants to see you do 50%.
Yeah.
I didn't pay to see you do 50, 60, 70. I don't want to see you do less than 100%. I fucking pay to be here.
Yeah. So now the panel ends. Do you have any other notes on the panel?
No, just, branding didn't really think was aligned. Some people could have brought more energy and just, yeah.
Been a little happier to be there.
Right.
For the one event of the year that you
right.
like in real life.
Yeah. So then we like we didn't even go to the Sunday brunch.
No. Actually, I have one more thing to say.
Oh, tell me.
Because the last panelist, Jackie and Claudia, left and it was just over. It just ended. Like the CEO didn't come out to say like, thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much. I think everyone was
so fucking excited to leave because we've been sitting on these super uncomfortable chairs all day that honestly, I was going to wait because there was supposed to be closing remarks.
Yeah.
We were going to wait.
We had an itinerary that said closing remarks. Nobody came out to do anything.
Everyone got up so fast to leave that even if they wanted to come out, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they did after we left, but then that would have taken so long. You're not supposed to do closing remarks 10 minutes after everybody leaves the room.
No.
You're supposed to do it right after and be like, oh, okay, guys, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we got these goodie bags.
Oh, the goodie bags.
The goodie bags looked like they ransacked CVS. There were maybe like 4 good products in there and a cool hat that they made. And then the rest, like they gave us like a mini Miss Slur water. You guys.
Again, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Welch's fruit snacks.
It's like everyone loves free shit, but like this kind of free shit.
I threw it away.
I was very fucking confused by it because Welch's, the amount of people that they have on their own separate podcasts. I know every podcast on the network is not the same, but like very wellness focused. Like you're going to give me Welch's, which are probably the most processed fucking snacks ever. Like it would have been a little more on brand if it was like a Simple Mills. They gave us Simple Mills. Fucking spare the Welch's. No one needs the Welch's.
Yeah. So it was very random. I don't know like what the mishmash of things in that bag.
I just like don't know who like was like, oh, we need to make the gift bags. Like let's make sure to pick up the Mistler water and the Welch's.
Yeah.
Like exactly. who thought of this?
Yeah. So whatever, we won't get into the nitty gritty of the gift bag, but it was very disappointing.
I just think overall,
I would have rather not gotten a gift bag. Let's put it that way.
I would have gotten also there was like 20 things in there and there were a bunch of like nonsense. I would have rather gotten 3 items that were significant, real, like, I don't know, more on brand items than gotten 20 nothings.
And how about
like quality over quantity, people?
And how about items like from the brands that work at Dear Media?
Like, I don't know if maybe like their companies individually didn't have the money to like, you know what I mean? To like donate these things. But then like, I don't know, then choose like 3 and just invest in that. I think that if you're gonna do an event, like you have to be investing some money. Like you can't just be like, let me get the sponsors who want to sponsor for free, no sé qué, like.
Yeah. It was honestly just the execution because there was like a Summer Fridays thing and OC
an array supplement.
An array supplement and like Who Kitchen. And then the rest was random. So just give me all the nice stuff because that's all I'm going to think about. Like then if I'm looking at this mixed in with all this random crap.
Like Hugh Chocolate, Simple Mills, and then Welch's, like those 3 snacks don't align.
Go together.
Like spare the Welch's, just give us a Hugh Chocolate and the Simple Mills.
Yeah.
The lesson here is to be intentional with what you're doing.
Exactly.
Like put a little bit of effort so it looks like a baby didn't put this gift bag together.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a little more detail oriented.
Yeah.
You know, it's a macro event, but people remember details. And these are things that, mind you, the whole event, we were like not speaking, we were listening, and we were not sharing any thoughts with each other.
We were actually giving eye glances that said it all.
So at the end, it's like, this is like, it's not like I was putting it in her head and she was putting it in my head. It was sort of like we came to the same conclusion. So I imagine that other people might come to the same conclusion. So just be intentional and at least have someone on your team who's detail oriented.
Yeah, and also just like the people that were working at the event, like on the staff, they were like the ones that were like standing around, you know, like being part of the people that welcome us to the event. Like
we're just very like,
yeah, like dismissive again.
Hi,
like,
welcome.
Like they should be like, over here we have this, over here we have this. Like I didn't even know what all of these stations were until one of like the panelists said, which that shouldn't be how it is.
That's true. I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Me either. I was like, okay, well, like who are you? And then we left the event and we went to a really good dinner, ATX Cocina, because we couldn't have lunch because it was a taco truck and the line was to Africa and it wouldn't move.
It would not
move. So didn't have lunch.
We lived on Simple Meals that day.
Yeah, we had 30 bags of Simple Meals and like these like protein balls. And then we went to early-ish dinner, was so good. And the highlight of dinner was that we sat next to these two girls and we talked to them for literally an hour and a half. We sat at the bar, which is always like fun because you kind of
they were really sweet.
So that was really fun. Shout out to those girls if you're listening to this, Lindsay and Carrie. But I don't know, it was cool. That's kind of what like life is about sometimes, just like connecting with others.
Sometimes it's like 100% is what life is about.
And the food was delicious.
It was so good. It was a really good ending to our day. And then Sunday, we skipped out on the brunch because based on our experience Friday and on the food Saturday, we were like, I think we could live without it.
Yeah. And it was literally at a place called the Sack Jack Saloon.
Yeah, it was like bottomless mimosas. And I was like, I don't need I'm fucking sober. Like, I'm fine. Like, we don't need this. So
we didn't go.
So then we did. And then I'm like, we dipped Austin. We left. And then we left Sunday. And then we got back home, you know, to start the week here. I mean, I just think overall, my takeaways, some panels were really good. You know, some people exceeded my expectations. Overall, like, it was still a good experience. But I just think, like, when you're doing these things, the same way when you're doing a podcast or whatever, like, it's like how you're making people feel. Like, how are you making people think about this? And if I feel like I am not being, like, noticed or there's no detail, there's no intention to what you're doing. Some people, like, literally could care less to be at this event. That's what it felt like. Overall, my idea of the event is like, yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Others, when you feel like invigorated and like motivated and inspired and you like, you know, some of these events, it's like they inject energy into you or they're like very, very like, you're learning like so much about like the industry or the market or something like that, right? So it's like, but you leave with something. And I'm not saying I left with nothing. We left with all these things, but I just think like the feeling you leave people with is what stays more than the actual content. Mm-hmm. And when you sort of half-ass it, like we end up feeling sort of like, meh.
Yeah. So those are our takeaways from the event. Of course, again, we're still really happy and grateful that we went because we got a lot out of it. And it's just like, number one, to be authentic all the time, to be humble, to stay grounded, and just to be intentional. Like, it's all about your intentions in this world for anything you do.
Yeah.
And like Gio said, like whether it be a 600 person event or your team meeting of 5 in the beginning, like make those people feel good, make them want to be there and remind them like of your value.
Right.
So
anyways, that's our spiel. What's our homework? Be intentional this week. Be intentional, be detail oriented, be thoughtful, be caring, like care about the people you're talking to, care about, even if you're having a coffee with someone and it's you one-on-one, care about what the other person has to say.
Yeah. Don't be dismissive.
And like, also don't just think of yourself, just care. Make it a good, thoughtful exchange.
Yeah.
So you can truly connect.
And if you're building a brand, make sure everything you do aligns with your brand messaging and your brand mission and vision and the tone of your brand.
That's like marketing literally 101, branding 101. They're like, what do you stand for? What's your voice? And anything that doesn't fall within that category, don't fucking do it.
Yeah. So.
And if not, like if you can't do an event, then don't fucking do an event. Mm-hmm. Or have a very small meetup. Mm-hmm. Like do them what you are capable of, but like then don't overstretch yourself and like half-ass it.
Yeah. So that's the tea, guys.
You guys, that's the tea. We love you guys so much. Thanks for listening. I think there was some really valuable content there.
Yeah. We love you guys. Ciao. Bye.
Ciao. Bye.